Just outside Ligonier, Pennsylvania, in the Laurel Mountains, there's a wonderful old amusement park called Idlewild, and a spectacular water park called SoakZone.
It's a beautiful place. I mean, it's changed so much. I mean, it was mostly woods in here.
They're here because the natural beauty of this area around Loyalhanna Creek attracted Judge Thomas Mellon here 125 years ago. He wanted to get more business for his newly opened Ligonier Valley Railroad by establishing a pleasure grounds where people would come to have fun. It was May 1st, 1878.
The park opened with picnic areas and man-made lakes, all to service the train. In fact, did you know, the train depot we are sitting in was the original one built back in 1878.
Well, fiddly-dee, that's old.
The depot was the first structure at Idlewild Park. It was small, only 10 feet by 25 feet, but it had a waiting room, a ticket booth, and a freight and express room. Believe it or not, Ripley's considered it the smallest full-service depot in the United States.
Yeah, well, the railroad tracks was here till 1952. They used to bring trains like Kynes Picnic.
I can remember the train
Moved the park with more rides and amusements. Some of those rides are still here, including the park's centerpiece, the magnificent carousel, built by the Philadelphia Toboggan Company, complete with 48 extraordinary hand-carved horses.
The cotton candy and the merry-go-round were my favorite things. And I still like to ride the merry-go-round. That has never changed. I think the merry-go-round's a universal ride for old and young. I can still crawl in the coach now. Before I used to ride the up and down horses. Now I'm in the coach.
The roller coaster on the hillside in the trees, the Rolo Coaster, was new for the summer of 1937. The same company that had built the carousel, the Philadelphia Toboggan Company, also designed this ride. It's only 27 feet tall at its peak, 900 feet long, but it's a perfect first coaster, and it's long been a big favorite with Idlewild riders.
And you know, legend has it that the sawmill was built right here, so that the coaster could be built from trees in the area. That was in 1937.
That's an old coaster.
It's been here for a long time, the roller coaster.
Another one of the park's vintage rides is the Whip. Once a standard ride at most amusement parks, Whips are now very rare, and this still operating 1939 model is a true Idlewild classic. But when you talk about rare, originally installed in 1947 with a covering canvas canopy, it was long famous as an ideal place for sweethearts to sneak a kiss. You can't see if there's any smooching going on today, but there is lots of laughter and squeals of joy.
and I can remember riding that when I was a kid.
In 1951, the Ligonier Valley Railroad went out of business. But by then, the increasing popularity of automobiles meant that Idlewild was able to survive well beyond the end of the railroad. In fact, that same year, the McDonald family bought out the Mellons, and Idlewild's fame as a great family park continued to grow.
There have been kiddie rides in the park since the 1920s. They've been in different locations, but now they're all here in Raccoon Lagoon. Some of the kiddie rides are over 70 years old.
The park still has rides from the 1950s. The hand cars, the Ferris wheel, and the turtle, all helping maintain the park's classic atmosphere. Along with many other children's rides, they are now located in what's called Raccoon Lagoon, a part of the park that opened in 1990.
That's not that old. Neither is Storybook Forest. It opened in 1956, but it's full of old stories and old nursery rhymes.
In 1983, Kennywood Entertainment bought Idlewild and soon launched a major improvement project to connect nearby Storybook Forest with Idlewild, though close to each other had until then been marketed separately.
That granddaughter, she just loved to get down to.
And the rest of the park is Jumpin' Jungle.
It's not very old, but it sure is wild.
Jumpin' Jungle is really a giant play area for kids of many ages. There's a 30-foot-high treehouse, a gigantic net climb, slides, rope swings, suspended bridge, rafts, billions of balls, and other great goofy stuff.
Here at Hoot and Holler, things get truly old-fashioned.
Some of these buildings were originally part of an attraction simply called Historic Village that opened in 1976. In 1985, they were moved and rearranged to create Hoot and Holler, where today there's plenty of good old Wild West style fun.
We could try Confusion Hill, Dizzy Lizzie's. We could even hop on the old train.
You can go jump in the lake.
Well, there's been a lake here at Idlewild since the park's earliest days, but the pool was built in the 1930s.
It's big, classic, cool, and wet.
When Idlewild's beautiful lake bouquet was first created, then in 1932, the flowers were ousted to make way for a huge 80-foot by 120-foot swimming pool. Its original sand beach is gone, but the lure of the water on a hot summer day is forever. So, in 1985, Idlewild expanded its splash factor by adding 4 new water slides, and the H2O zone was born. Next came shotgun slides, rafters run, and little squirts. Then, in the year 2000, the largest single expansion in Idlewild's long history happened. More water slides, a mammoth tipping bucket, and lots of get-wet gimmicks, doubling the size of the old H2O, transforming it into the awesome Soak Zone.
In 1989, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood became part of Idlewild.
One of the other more recent and most beloved corners of the park is the area called Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Fred Rogers, the creator of the famous PBS children's program, worked closely himself with the park on the development of this ride. And of course, he provided many of the voices for the various neighborhood characters.
And this is the first time that we have had a collaboration with people at an amusement park. And again, they seemed to respect what I felt about children and their families, and I certainly respected what they knew about amusement parks. After all, Idlewild is the place I went when I was a little boy. It was the very first amusement park I ever knew.
It's not really old at all. It's older than me.
Well, no matter how old you are, you won't want to miss this chance to ride an old-fashioned trolley, life-size neighborhood of make-believe. It's a unique and imaginative sort of fun. And fun is what Idlewild and SoakZone are all about. Always have been, always will be. With history, great ride memories, and good times all the time.
This much fun never gets old.
Idlewild Park, Ligonier, Pennsylvania.
For all the people who are tired of the noise and pressure and rushing around, we thought you should know about something different. Idlewild, where the difference is the Idlewild setting.
Look, that's where I used to go when
The difference is the Idlewild attractions. The difference is definitely the Idlewild fun. Come to Idlewild. We've got more of what a day with the family is for. Idlewild, Route 30, Ligonier.
Rafters run, have water sliding H2O zone fun. Explore, jump and jungle, climb up on the land. Take the train to Hoot and Holler Town, where the Wild West gals won't let you down. Shops and shows, anything goes. Take a vacation day out Ligonier way. Go wild over Idlewild. This happy fact, Idlewild is where it's at. Happy, you could be happy if you would gather up your family and share a smile at Idlewild. Happy, you should be happy. It's time to share a smile at Idlewild. Happy, 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 happy. Come on, be happy. It's time to share a smile at Idlewild.
Idlewild Park, Ligonier, Pennsylvania.
For all the people who are tired of the noise and pressure and rushing around, we thought you should know about something different. Idlewild, where the difference is the Idlewild setting.
Look, that's where I used to go when
The difference is the Idlewild attractions. The difference is definitely the Idlewild fun. Come to Idlewild. We've got more of what a day with the family is for. Idlewild, Route 30, Ligonier.
What is it about the word family that means so many different things, like family dinner, or family portrait, or even family reunion? There's just something about time with your family that always makes it memorable. Being together, having fun, spending time that we know won't last forever. It's important because it is family. We're all about family at Idlewild Park. From family meetings to family memories, Idlewild is family fun.
Paging Dr. Hydro.
Get the prescription for fun this summer at Idlewild Park with Dr. Hydro SoakZone. Just add water. Go head-to-head at the Hydro racers or take the pipeline plunge through a wall of water. Then watch out for the giant SoakZone bucket, a 300-gallon absolutely soaking wet surprise.
It's Hydromania.
Make the appointment to see the doctor this summer at Dr. Hydro SoakZone. All day only at Idlewild Park. Route 30 Ligonier.
You need some hydrotherapy.
The doctor will see you now.
When you're a kid, Idlewild is a place full of adventures, thrills, and all the flavors that it seems you can get only in America's most beautiful amusement park. But when you're a grown-up, Idlewild is something completely different, because now you're the one who has to lug the cooler from the car and wipe up the ice cream. Or wait in line 3 separate times until they get enough courage to try the wild mouse. You find you're no longer welcome in certain situations, but always when it's time to pay. And you know you'll be the only one awake on the way home. And you'll love every minute of it. Because when it's your kids, they can tell you they love you without saying a word. Idlewild, because you love to see them smile.
Be good to yourself. Be good to someone you love. This summer, promise your grandkids a day at Idlewild Park. It's America's most beautiful amusement park, and it's a perfect place for grandmas and paps, brothers and sisters, and cousins too. This summer, plan a leisurely getaway on a weekday and bring your grandkids to Idlewild Park.
Thanks, Grandma.
Idlewild Park on Route 30, just east of Greensburg.